Hello everyone, welcome to this general flow aiming to warm your body up, to loosen your body as well, and to get you into a good mood hopefully. We'll start lying down. So get yourself comfortable, have some props at hand, and particularly a belt and a brick today. So starting on your back, we'll extend the legs. Maybe you'd like to take your hands to your belly to feel the breath. I have my hands on my ribcage so that I can sense the diaphragm lifting up as I inhale and sucking back up, or rather pushing down as I inhale and releasing as I exhale. And for the first few breaths here, notice if you're feeling some tension, mentally or physically. And if there's anything that you can do about it, perhaps by focusing your breath into those areas of physical tension, or simply listening to the breath itself. Take another breath here. Then slowly start to slide one leg back and then the other leg back. You may open your eyes if they weren't already opened. And then take the knees in towards the chest here. Perhaps loosening up a little bit into the back by rocking from side to side, or coming back and forth. And then we can rotate the ankles in one direction, and then in the other direction. Release the feet flat to the floor. Take the soles of the feet together and open the knees wide. Inhale and lift the arms. And then from there, looking at your arms, you're going to take some wrists rotations. Listen to the little creaks and cracks if they may be there. In the other direction too. Then let's interlace the fingers, press the palms away so that the eyes of the elbows are facing towards one another. Try to have the thumbs pointing up, the little fingers pointing down, if that's feasible and comfortable for your wrists. And then here you're going to keep the back of the head down to the floor, so imagine it's sort of glued as well as the upper part of the back, but imagine that your hands are a handle, a case handle. They're being lifted up so the shoulder blades separate a little bit. Don't go too far, no strain, then you release as you exhale the shoulder blades down. Let's do this twice more. Once more. Then release the palms facing towards you, release the fingers, give them a little shake about. Interlace the hands again, but we have a normal interlacing. So for me, if I look at my hands, my left index finger is above the right. So I'm going to interlace the other way and then press the palms away again, so it might feel a little bit alien. And this time, if I can, I'm going to glide the arms overhead to arrive behind the head, maybe all the way to the floor. Not feasible, simply separate the hands and have the hands comfortably and the elbows and the shoulders comfortably released to the floor. So whatever feels good to you. So you might start to feel the elongation in the torso. From here now, start to bring the legs together, but separate the feet so they are about hip width apart. Inhale, as you exhale, bring the knees over to the left and the gaze over to the right. Inhale back through to the center, the knees over to the right, gaze over to the left. As we do this a couple more times to either side, you're going to measure if that space between your legs is enough or too much. So you can take the legs wider, you can take them lower down, you can take them higher up. So tailor make this, any postures in fact, to you. I say this, but perhaps not often enough. The posture should fit around you, not you around the postures. Then let's come back through towards the centre, release the arms, uninterlace the fingers, give those arms a little bit of a shake. Take the knees in towards the chest again. And this time you may well want to rock back and forth on your spine until you come to a seated posture, or you may want to roll over and very gently bring yourself back up so that you are onto your seat. Perhaps a little bit of height if that's more comfortable, and that if that allows for the spine to remain straight and long. Doesn't matter which leg is crossed in front. And we're going to, from here, take a little bit of movement into the shoulders and the neck. So rolling the shoulders and then in the other direction. Then take the front of the throat towards the back of the neck. So imagine you're a tortoise retracting the neck, and then slowly aim to give yourself a lovely double chin to stretch into the back of the neck muscles. The elbows are released towards the waistline. Inhale back through towards the center. Exhale, this time you're simply bringing the head, or the gaze rather, towards the ceiling or towards the sky, if you're lucky enough to practice this outside. Now let's come back through towards the center, and then again, retract, drop. Inhale back through towards the center. This time, give yourself a sort of a French bulldog look by bringing the bottom teeth and lips over. I won't do it because otherwise I can't speak and you can't understand, but then this is the effect of when you lift, stretch the front of the throat. Only do this if it feels comfortable. If you're not sure, have a look at the video and then do it yourself. Release as you inhale back through towards the center. Give your shoulders a roll forward and a roll back. This time allow the left ear to go towards the left shoulder. Take the left arm over the ear and very gently allow the hand weight to stay there. And release. Then bringing the head back through towards the center. Let's take the opposite crossing of the legs if that's comfortable. Remember, your option is always to have the legs wide out or bring the legs forward, and to sit indeed in any seated posture that feels comfortable to you. So from this, we're going to take the right ear towards the right shoulder. Note difference in sides if there are to be any. Right arm comes over left ear very gently. The weight of the hand is nudging, it's not pressing, it's simply resting there, leaning. Then lift the arm, bring the head back through towards the centre this time again. Shoulders back and forth. We'll have a little bit more of a twist here by taking the right arm to the outside of the left leg. Left hand behind, lift the crown of the head up, and then you're going to twist. So roundabout to underneath the rib cage here, keeping the hips facing forward. Gaze back through towards the centre, spine comes back through towards the centre, over to the other side. Elevate the spine to start with, and then you twist and turn. Go back through towards the centre with the gaze, then with the spine. You can release your grip, your support if you have it underneath. Hands free if you can. We're going to come over onto our hands and knees. If you need the support of those hands, use them. From here, you're onto your tabletop. You're going to take the right knee a little closer towards the right wrist. Then you're going to take the right forearm down, and then from here slightly take the left leg back a little bit, and then the left arm forward, so you can release the forehead onto the right forearm, thus enjoying a little bit of a side stretch here, about 3-4 breaths. Make them count, just enjoy that stretch. Have a little variation if it feels more comfortable to stretch a bit more forward or a little less. And then lift the head, bring the left hand behind the shoulder, underneath the shoulder even. Right hand the same. Set yourself back into your initial posture, and we'll do this onto the other side. Left knee close to the left wrist, and then bring the left elbow under the left shoulder. Slide the right leg back a little, slide the right arm forward, release your forehead to your left forearm, and take 3 to 4 breaths here. And then lift the head, bring yourself back through to the centre. You can decide to do the next round of postures, which are cat-cows, either hands planted on the floor underneath you, or on your wrists, or even on your forearms if that's more comfortable for you. Spread your fingers, middle finger facing towards the top of the mat, thumbs pointing towards one another, space between the knees. Press those shins down as if they were glued. Inhale for nothing, and as you exhale, crown of the head goes down, tailbone goes down. Inhale, this time you're going to drop like a hammock, so the shoulder blades get closer towards one another. You may even gaze up. And let's do this a little bit more. Feel free to have a play and maybe take the arms a little bit wider. And again. One last time. Come back through to neutral. toes together, sit back into your heels, into your child's posture for a couple of breaths. Bring the arms back through towards the front, as far forward as you can. As we're coming into the down dog, perhaps you stay onto the hands and knees if that's more comfortable for you. Tuck the toes, pressing the hands firmly, lift yourself up, keep those knees bent so that you can really bring the length into the spine, allowing that gaze to be towards the legs, the belly button if your neck allows it. And then think about the thigh muscles, moving towards the thigh bones, and the thigh bones towards the hamstrings, so you still keep the height in the heels, but then you can even get a little bit more length in the back and in the back of the legs. If you want to now, you can release those heels down towards the floor. Shake the head about. So if you are staying onto the hands and knees, here you will bring the right leg forward. If you're on the down dog, inhale, lift the right leg, and then as you exhale, you're going to bring it forward, so you may come up onto the fingertips and bring the right leg all the way to the front, releasing the left knee down. We're going to take the right hand to the thigh, right and left hand even, and we're going to clear a little bit of space into the hips. So bring the hands to the thigh, really push it forward, and then therefore you might even be able to bring yourself a little bit more forward and get a lovely psoas release. Release the left hand down to the floor. And from there, you can turn towards the right thigh. If it's too much, so you can't clear your boobs and your belly, you're going to take the leg a little bit more out to the side. And then take the right arm forward, lift it up and turn towards your right thigh. Perhaps your hand remains on the lower back. It's up to you. Another breath here. And then we'll release the hand down. Tuck the back foot. Bring the back leg all the way up really. And then a little bit forward so you can straighten the front leg as much or as little as you want. You can use your brick and have it behind the calf as well so that the back is longer. Aim to have the left hip forward and the right hip back. Keep extending the spine and breathing. If you're quite happy to release yourself over and down onto your thigh, then you can do so. Slide the brick out to the side and then take the front leg back into your down dog. Bring the left back in line with the left leg in line with the right leg, and we're going to stay here for a few breaths again. So here you are into your down dog. Remember your sitting bone going towards the back of the room, maybe the leg straightening. And then we lift the left leg and bring it forward so that we can release the right knee down to the floor. We take the hands to the thigh, the left thigh, and we bring the torso up. This may well be enough and you can stay here, or you can use your hands to free a little bit more space in the left hip, therefore bringing that right leg a little bit more slanted. Take your arms up and take a couple of breaths here. Feel the weight into the big toe, little toe, inner heel, outer heel. Release the right hand down to the floor, and then that left arm lifts. You may have wanted to move the left leg or release that left hand to the lower back. Whatever feels good, try to clear the shoulders. I find this quite difficult because my shoulders always want to come back up. So really open up. Take another breath here. And then come to frame the front leg. Tuck the back foot, lift the leg and bring the leg back in a little bit so that you can find that length into the front leg. Again, we haven't done so much on the hamstrings, so you may want to have a support. Back hip forward, front hip back. Weight onto big toe, little toe, inner heel, outer heel. If you're feeling you're losing your balance, you can take the back leg a little bit more out to the side of the mat, or try to focus on pressing the weight into the mound of the big toe and the outer heel on both legs. You can release a little further forward and down if that's feasible for you, desirable. This time, we're going to take the back leg forward to come into a forward fold. Take the legs fairly wide so you can allow the fullness of the torso to fall, cascade forward. Taking the hands to either side of the elbows and allowing yourself to dangle here. You might even want to be like a little trunk of an elephant, trying to sniff around for peanuts. And then you're going to take the hands in front of the feet, slowly bring the feet, pigeon toe them back in. Bend the knees so that you're sitting. And then here, if your back allows it, you take the arms by the side of the ears. If not, you take the hands onto the hips. And we're going to lift into Utkatasana, the chair. Inhale, lift the torso, lift the arms, bring the arms by the side of the body, hands onto the lower back, bend the knees, open up into a gentle back bend. Bring yourself back through towards the center, again come down. This time take the right leg back and the right knee down to the floor. Have the belt at hand. And we're going to take the belt, we're going to measure that it's coming so that we can lift the arms up and behind us. From this, we're going to inhale and lift, and as we exhale, take the arms behind us and try to keep that chest open, the arms wide. So we lengthen the tailbone, we lift the sternum, the breastbone, and maybe we gaze up, maybe we gaze forward. Whatever feels good to you. Then release the arms back over the head and down. If you're able to, leave the belt in front of you. If you're able to, you're going to jump the back leg forward and the front leg back in a scissoring action to swap. Not comfortable to do this, you're going to take the back leg, lift it, take it forward and then swap around, okay? So whichever way makes you feel more comfortable. So from this now, lift, arms wide, and then take the belt behind you. It sort of helps opening the chest safely, lengthening the tailbone, lifting the breastbone, and getting a nice happy, cheery opening into the front of the body. Remember to try to keep your pelvis level. Arms all the way to the front. Release to the floor. This time we're going to come into a little bit of a vinyasa. So tuck the back foot, the front leg goes back into a down dog. Stay here for about 3 breaths. Then up onto the toes, forward into a plank or a half a plank. And you're going to release elbows back behind you, nose, chin, chest, all the way down into the front of the body. Forearms to the floor. If you're quite happy to go into more than a sphinx, then trust yourself. Here, we're going to try to take the belly in towards the spine, as if we're going to peel the belly. Imagine you have lava trying to come between the mat and your belly, and you don't want to touch it. Who would want to touch lava? And then release, elbows out, and then fingers underneath by the side, underneath the shoulders by the side of the chest. Push back into a down dog. Bend the knees and you can walk, you can step, or you can jump all the way through towards the front. Take the hands to the thighs and bring yourself into a half a tabletop. Bend the knees, sweep the floor. Inhale, arms up. Lengthen the tailbone, lift the chest, and then again exhale, bring yourself over and down. We're going to take the left leg back and the right leg back. Come up onto the toes, forward into a plank. We might even stay into the plank here, or the half a plank, for about 3 breaths. And then elbows bent, you're releasing yourself, bringing yourself into whichever option of your back bend that feels comfortable, maybe knees off the floor or not. Stay here for a couple more breaths. And then back into a down dog. Knees to the floor. Sit back into your heels, into your child's posture. Hands to the side of the knees, slowly and curling yourself back up. Be sat on your heels, though if that's not comfortable for you, you can extend the legs in front of you. I'll take a little bit of a twist here. So right hand to the outside of the left thigh, left hand behind you, crown of the head up, twist. Back through towards the centre, over to the other side, twist. Inhale and gaze back through towards the centre. This time we are all going to slide the legs forward. So you slide your bum to the side, bring the legs forward, and take the flesh away from underneath the buttocks here. Let's take the right knee up and then open the knee out to the side. So this looks like this. If you want to, you can support your knee to the side if it doesn't quite get to the floor, and that sometimes helps not have any tension into the hip groin. From this, we're going to inhale, lift the chest, and then as we exhale, very gently turn ourselves away, so towards the left leg. Maybe you take the right arm to the outside of the left leg, lift the chest, and then twist a little bit more. Gaze back through towards the centre, spine comes back through towards the centre. Bring the right knee in and then forward. Left knee in and out. Lift the spine and then turn a little bit already with the torso. Then bring the left arm to the outside of the right leg, the right hand behind you. So here there's a little bit of a lever. It helps keep both sitting bones down to the floor. You really want to be sitting bones down and spine straight. Inhale, and as you exhale, you can turn. Gaze back through towards the center, the spine comes back through towards the center. Bring the knee up and extend the legs. Again, if you feel that you find that quite difficult because of the tightness into the thighs, you may want to double up on the mat. It's quite nice to roll your mat up. Therefore, perching a little bit so that you can bring yourself a little bit more forward. Inhaling, lift the arms up. So just as we did when we're trying to lift from our chair, rather than keeping the arms up there, if you feel that is lifting too much and putting too much pressure in the back, you can keep the hands forward and just very gently bringing yourself forward. Otherwise, inhale, arms up. And as you exhale, you're going to bring the arms, just release the hands to wherever they naturally want to go. If you practice this in the morning, it may well be that you can't go as far as you would if you were to do this in the evening. No matter. It's about stretching into the back of the body. Salutation to the west. Paschimottanasana. Inhale. Exhale. Eventually the gaze is parallel to your legs. You can close your eyes here. You can also keep a bend in the knees and have the legs slightly wider. Slowly open the eyes, gaze back towards the toes. Keep the navel to the spine to unravel yourself all the way back up. Good. Press the feet down into the floor. Slide your bottoms towards your heels. You're going to have the hands quite back, so again you could be onto your fists. You're going to take the right leg over to the left thigh. And the more you bring that left leg in, the more you'll feel it into the right leg. You can also, if you want here, lift up. Roll into the shoulders back. Not to be done if you have shoulder injuries. And then release. Down to the other side. So I'll show you what it looks like on the other side from the front. Take the other leg to the top of the other thigh. And then bring the front leg back in a little bit. And try to breathe a smile on your face. I'm finding it a little bit difficult. Big stretch here. And then pressing onto the feet, the foot that is on the floor rather, I'm going to lift up and come into a figure of four, tabletop if you like. You can gaze up, you can gaze forward. Very good for the core, this one. And release down. Release the leg. Slide the legs a little bit further apart. And then allow the arms to release. Slowly uncurl yourself back up. We're going to come back down to the floor. Bottoms towards the heels. Make sure that you have perhaps a brick but also your belt here. Slowly releasing yourself down. Allow for a couple of breaths to happen here, so that even though this is a flow, we want to give time for the body to recalibrate, if you like. Inhale, and then as you exhale, you're going to press onto the feet, lengthen the tailbone, and then start to lift again as you inhale. Peel the spine, come up onto the shoulders, and then as you exhale, you're going to release, trying to release the back down. Imagine that your back and the mat were Velcro, so you can peel away the Velcro and release back down. So let's do this a couple more times. So to start with, we focus on the pelvic tilt. So as we inhale, we lengthen the tailbone. So we narrow the gap between the lower back and the floor. As we exhale again, we stay there. We inhale, we lift. And we exhale, we stay. We release. We will be staying after the next one. So, from this, inhale, press those feet down, lengthen the tailbone. Exhale, keep that belly button in towards the spine, start to feel the activation in the thighs. Inhale, peel, so Velcro or unvelcro if you like, your spine away from the floor. And then we release. Stay here for a few breaths. Notice how it feels. You may even want to bring the knees from side to side a little bit. And then here, you're going to place the belt at the front of the ankles, so you lasso them if you like. And then the sides come back up towards your shoulders. So pressing those feet down, we're going to inhale, lengthen the tailbone. We've got the hands on the belts. Exhale, really take the navel in towards the spine. Start activating the legs, pressing the feet down. And then you're going to lift up. If you can, you're going to roll the shoulders under, so not a dissimilar action to when we were taking the belt behind us in our lunge. And then perhaps you could roll the shoulders even more down. Go closer with the belt and try to use the belt as a little bit of a lever, an anchor, to lift yourself back up. Press, lift the pubic bone, press the feet down to the floor. You may have wanted your brick then between your feet as well to keep a physical reminder of keeping the big toes down. Couple of breaths more. And then slowly release the shoulders, the upper back, the middle back, and the buttocks. Sliding the legs forward as you allow the belt to be totally released. You can take the arms out to shoulder height. I'm just going to use my feet to slide the belt out to the side somewhat. And then allow my knees to knock in as my feet are to about mat width apart. Just notice how much effort you made, or you took, to come up and remain in this posture with the belt. Perhaps how differently it feels to your more dynamic bridges or when you stay without the use of the belt. Then slowly start to walk the feet so that the knees separate and your feet are hip width apart. Take one knee towards the chest, the other knee towards the chest. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the chin, forehead towards the knees. Inhale, one's down. Exhale, forehead to knees. Inhale, down. Exhale, forehead to knees. Inhale, release the head down towards the floor. And then feet to the floor. Then come into the posture that makes you feel good for relaxation. Items of clothing maybe, to keep yourself warm. Settle down. For the next few breaths, scan your body once more. Is there any part of your body that is weighing more one side that is heavier than the other? Can you wiggle about one last time? And see whether this has spread the weight a little bit more evenly. If not, no worries, no trouble. Simply noticing how we are and how we reside in our body is yoga. Softening your facial features, allowing your body to bed down. Allowing yourself to notice thoughts without getting involved with them. Again, the process of noticing we have thoughts is yoga. When you feel comfortable to Let the sounds in the room and outside the room come to you. And let the awareness of the outside world come back as you gently take movement into your body. Take any movement that feels right to you. And then roll over onto one side. Eyes still closed for a couple of breaths here. Allowing the top hand to rest on the floor. Slowly open your eyes. Get used to the amount of light in the room. Bring yourself gently back up, allowing the head to be the last part of the body that comes back up. Comfortably seated. Observe how you are feeling right now. Let's take 3 breaths together. Inhale, arms up. Let's take 1 more breath. Release thumbs to the forehead for kind thoughts towards yourself and others. To your lips for kind words towards yourself and others, and to your heart for kind actions towards yourself and others. Namaste.